I found out about 2 weeks ago that I was gonna be moving, and I just recently got this apartment a year ago. Um, not a big deal. I'm kind of like being kicked out on short notice, but I wanted to talk about moving and not being afraid of it and then embracing it. Uh, and the hardest part would obviously be leaving the people that you met behind and saying goodbye to everybody and everything I've built. But I've moved a lot, and most of the time when I did move, I did lose like most of the things that I've acquired. Everything in this room is new from when I first got this apartment, and I worry sometimes that I might lose everything. But those are the circumstances I was in. This time I think I'll keep most of my stuff, but I don't really think I'm gonna keep most of the people just because that's the way life is. You win some, you lose some. I'm sure I'll get rid of some of the stuff in my apartment, but you don't have to be afraid of moving. And I know that I've been through this process enough times to know that whatever happens, you usually land back on your feet. So embrace change. Life will throw some curveballs at you, but you always have to know that it's always for a reason. Even in your times where you're like down, you're not really feeling 100%. Either way, you'll find your way back up, and you'll see the reason for why you are in certain circumstances. And it's good to be thankful for those circumstances because it teaches you. When you go through a rough time and you're ungrateful, for good reason, and then you get what you want after your challenge comes your way. It kind of is like it's like you're being tested. Like I don't know how to put it. Just think of it as like a parent is like testing you or something, and then you later get what you want, but you're like you weren't really grateful for what you had when things weren't going right. So in this case, me having to move, I've been staying grateful for everything I've learned here, and the fact that I'll be able to meet new people when I actually move. That's one of the most exciting parts about it. It's scary, but I've met people here that I never thought I would start to that would grow on me, and I know that I'll meet some new people that will also start to grow on me in my new location where I move. With that being said, I don't know exactly where I'm moving. It doesn't really matter to me or to you guys, obviously, but yeah, meeting new people would be the best part about it. New experiences and. I feel like I came here for a reason, which means that the next place I move will feel like the move was for a reason, which is good because I always like a sense of purpose, stuff like that. And obviously, since I know I'm moving, if you ever start to move, or if you're ever like in a situation similar to this, you know that you usually like start to do things that you wouldn't usually do if you knew that you were staying. Example, case in point, pierce my eyebrow. I don't know. I've also been partying a little bit more, but that's it's a part of the same boat. Like since I know that my time here is limited, I'm just doing what I've always wanted to do. Because most of the time I'm too focused on I got to get my next video out, start writing my stories, reading. But as of late, I've been I've really been. I don't want to say I've been crashing out, but I've been having a little bit of fun, more fun than usual. And I've been able to enjoy it, but important thing is you have to know when to lock in when you're in a situation like this, because you can't just spend the whole time doing crazy stuff. You gotta really know when to look into what you need to do, and because like you don't want to end up on the streets. And reach out to people. It's good to reach out to people, even like, and pride would be your worst enemy in cases like this. You know, pride has gotten me on the streets many times before. So I decided to make a little change. I just actually decided to like hit up my mother. I told her like a day after I found out that I was gonna have to move, which is something I wouldn't do in the past. You know, every time I had to like leave the place I was staying at, I usually just told myself. And if I was telling other people, then I wouldn't really make a big deal of it. I was like, yeah, whatever. And then I ended up on the streets until someone took me in. And I don't want that to happen now, and I definitely didn't like it before. So yeah, I'm definitely keeping my options open, but I'm not staying with another person. I don't want to live with a person. I've had people offer me saying like, oh, come on, if you don't move away, because like I have a, you know, you can just live with me, whatever. The thing is, I don't really like staying with people after I have been there before. And you know, I've just felt like I was a bad housemate, because if I ever do get some type of way, get some type of feelings, and I just become like lazy, ungrateful, whatever, it's never a good outcome. Because as long as you can keep that energy of like gratefulness and like, you know, keeping your head up for the people that, you know, give you a chance to have a home, it can easily slip out like that, you know, like one like dish that you left on the counter, or like leaving an area messy because you had to go somewhere in a rush. So I just don't want to be in that situation again. But in the meantime, you know, sometimes you have to, but me personally, I prefer to just move to another location. I've never actually done that, like from apartment to apartment, but I've never actually really like tried, like put my all into that. You know, and the housing market is very terrifying recently. You guys know, if you've ever tried to find an apartment, it's terrifying. And you don't really, I don't know about y'all, but I wouldn't want to live with my mother, no matter how good our relationship is, or like anything. I just prefer not to. I don't know what it is, man. Everybody says like, oh, well, you have like a mother to go to. I wouldn't want to go there, and I'm pretty sure like she would prefer me to just have my own place. And I probably would prefer to have my own place a little more than anybody else would. Because you know, being a nuisance, being a burden on other people, it's just the most painful thing you can do, you know, when you have nowhere else to go. And that feeling invokes it even more, because like you just want to isolate yourself, and then you just feel like the people that you live with don't really like you. They're just doing it out of like, you know, this is the only option we have. So, you know, that feeling is the worst feeling I've ever felt. So I'd much rather just get my own place. And, you know, it works out because, you know, this right here, this place, it's something I hold dear to me, just because it's my first like real apartment. And before that, it's been dorm rooms, and, you know, I've never really had, an apartment to live at like this. And now that I know that I could, and I can turn something into nothing, or nothing into something, it feels good to know, and it's comforting, because now I feel like I can actually get through whatever I need to get through, just to, you know, I can do it, you know. It did take me a while to get this thing, but at the same time, I wasn't really looking, because I wasn't sure I could actually do it. So yeah, I've definitely learned a lot from trying to move into certain areas, and it's really it's really terrifying doing it. But you know, you got to do what you got to do. I'll be okay. And if you're going through the same situation, don't take everything I say to heart. Just know that this is like kind of what I feel, and that you're not really alone. because I've been here so many times. Like I've been in like the moving process so many times. Rarely alone, but you know, it's all leading. It all leads to something. You know, now I'm much more secure in like how I go about this. So yeah, just letting y'all know what's going on, and that's about it.